across the country are here to stand in solidarity against gun control. I want to thank all of you for coming out on such a cold day.
Well, we won't back down. We're gonna stand our ground. We know you're trying to open the gates of hell, but we won't back down. So yes, we'll stand our ground. We won't be pushed around. We must keep you from putting our kids in the ground, so we can't stand down. No, we won't back down. We won't back down, baby. There ain't no easy way out. We can't stand down, brother. So we'll stand our ground. And no, we won't back down. 'Cause we know what's right. And we got plenty of fight. And if you think you're gonna keep pushing us around, well, you'll lose that crown. 'Cause we won't back down. We won't back down, baby. There ain't no easy way out. We can't back down, brother. We've gotta stand our ground. And no, we won't back down. You know, it's pretty clear that these lunatics think they have the right to strip us of our rights of self-defense. And if they're willing to do that, what else are they willing to do? We won't back down, baby. There ain't no easy way out. We can't back down, brother. No, we won't back down. Back down, baby. There ain't no easy way out. We can't back down, brother. We've gotta stand our ground. So we won't back down. No, we won't back down. Virginians, you won't fight this fight alone.
Good evening, everybody. Ed Levine here from VCDL. Hi, Pat. And in my room here, just so there's no secret conversation between just Pat and myself, we've got board member off to my side here, Bruce Jackson. And he runs the store if you ever order any of these shirts or hats or Gun Save Lives, magnets and stickers, whatever. An executive member, Joanna, is in here. We're having a little pre-lobby day party. Philip actually got tight. You know, anytime that there's lobby day, we post everything on our Facebook page and we post stuff on our website and our YouTube channel, and everybody wants to talk to Philip. So he is tied up with like 30 press interviews, and he's asked Pat and I to start without him. So we're going to go over with some of the items that we wanted to talk about, and then we're going to try and get back here around 9 o'clock or so and have Philip on to give us any last minute details. But right off the bat, let's say hi to Pat.
Hi, everybody. Looking forward to tomorrow. I did see a couple of questions in the comments scroll through. Were these pictures from this year or last year? This year is tomorrow. So those were pictures from last year. It was an awesome event, and we hope this year, although it will be different, we hope that it'll be just as awesome and that even more people show up.
Actually, I have a red crystal ball here, and I took the pictures from tomorrow and posted them on our Facebook page. So now you saw them here first. No, those were pictures for, like Pat said, from last year. We're looking forward to seeing the pictures and videos tomorrow. We do have a contest of the best decked out vehicles And we're going to look at that through pictures that you send us and pictures that people show us. And if you give me a second here, I'll tell you what some of the prizes are. 3 annual memberships to U.S. Law Shield, 200, and that's from Sylvia and Gilbert Ambler. Then we've got and U.S. Law Shield. Then we got 250 rounds of 9mm from Mitchell at Safeside. Now, someone told me I ought to make that 250 prizes because 9mm is so hard to get. VCDL is going to give away 4 memberships, or if you're already a member, we'll just renew you. One of the grand prizes is you get to go shooting with Philip Van Cleve. And what's that?
How do you load Philip? You said you go shooting with him. How do you load him?
Whiskey.
Okay, just checking.
Whiskey. We got an inside the waistband holster from Henry at Huckleberry Tactical, and there's a PTP gun class from Ryan, and that class is apparently about $1,000 if you just paid for it out of pocket. So how do you win? You deck out your vehicle, you drive in the Caravan, and you post your pictures to the Facebook group or send them to social media at vcdl.org. And there's a couple of us on the prize patrol, and we'll look at it and we'll offer you the prize, or we'll give you the prize, or all those participation rules are still all under the cover. So I'm not sure how to present the rules to you, but we'll pick you out and you'll win. That's one thing. A lot of people have been asking about the signs in Richmond and what authority that they have. And there's a couple different posts about them online. What I would suggest is you go to the VCDL YouTube channel, and there's a video we posted just the other day from Gilbert Ambler, and he explains the ups and downs and the ins and outs of the signs in Richmond and whether they're applicable to you or not. Bus tracking. We do have a couple URLs. The main URL is vcdl-bus.org, and that takes you to a main page, and then there's a drop down for each additional bus. Those trackers don't go live till 6 a.m. tomorrow. And thank you to our bus captains for managing those devices and making sure that they all go and keeping everybody on watch on the, and then there's some sub caravans that don't have trackers. So if you don't know what those are all about, you can go to the vcdl.org page, and then there's a link down there that talks about the routes, and you click on that. It tells you expected times for what buses are going to be on what routes and where they're going to go. And then the last thing that I want to talk about before we get to Pat and then hopefully later with Philip is this is our 19th year. We've been doing this a long time, and we have learned that there are people that are anti-gun and don't like what we do. So they try.
Really?
There's a couple. I might be sitting next to one of them. Maybe not. But there are people that want to say something to you or do something to you or whatever for a reaction, whether it's on camera, whether it's physical or whatever. Stay away from the provocateurs. Don't get into the arguments. Don't get into the battles. If there's anything that you deem to be an emergency, call the police, call the 911, and don't get into a big uproar. Leave the area, all that type of stuff. Be smart, head on a swivel, look out for each other. But we're not there as a protest. This is not a protest. This is just a rally showing support. It's a caravan to show that we are all standing together. The other thing you can do is once the legislative session gets rolling, as we find out what bills are good and what bills are bad and what we want you to support or not support, you're going to need to get in touch with your lawmakers and tell them what you think about the bills that are coming. You don't know who your legislator is? You can go to some search engine and look up who is my legislator in Virginia. You put in your address and your zip code, and it shows you who your delegate, your state senator, who your congressperson is, and all that stuff, so that you can write them. And
Right.
then finally, if they're I'm sorry.
There should be a link pretty soon on our website also where you can do that.
Yeah, I know that they were working on that tonight, John Pierce and Philip,
Yeah.
and that could also be, a lot of things are happening right now. This is a very busy time for us, and that could also be why Philip's running behind. And I see we got 202 people watching us now. So make sure you share this so other people can get the word. And then this will also be on our VCDL YouTube channel so that you can watch this later or listen to it if you want. The speeches are going to be broadcast in the caravan. We'll have links to that. A lot of people, email me and go, hey, you guys should get off Facebook and you should go to Gab and you should go to USA Life and you should go to Parler and all these other things. We pretty much have a presence on all of them, in addition to our very own private message area for members only at the vcdl.org website. But the other places, if you want to check out where we're on social media, you can go to tiny.cc/VCDL social media. And there's a page that's constantly being updated that gives you all the MeWe and the Twitter and the Rumble and the Instagram and
You got Gab too.
Gab too. So there's plenty of them out there, and we're always researching and looking at them. So I'm out of breath. I've talked quite a bit. Pat, take it away.
Sure. Few things I want to address. One, I just saw Stan said his delegate is a diehard leftist and a waste of time. Even if your delegate or senator is a diehard leftist, it's not a waste of time to contact them. And it's, in fact, the more people that contact them, the more they pay attention and the less, what's the word that I'm looking for? They don't push as hard. So they want to keep their jobs. Their jobs depend on votes. So more people contacting them does have an impact. I saw another comment that somebody said they had their dash cam ready. We suggest that if you have dash cams, body cams, GoPros, anything like that, you keep them running all day long tomorrow. If you're willing to share the video with us, we would love to have some video of the event, make another montage like the one that you saw at the beginning. And also, if there should be somebody that does try to stir up trouble by pretending to be a VCDL member, then it's documented. And if you do see somebody that is trying to cause problems, like Ed said, pick up that phone, call 911 right away. We are in contact with several law enforcement agencies, and we're working with them to keep this a peaceful event. We look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow.
Yeah,
So,
unless you're driving right now, please join me in a round of applause for Bruce Jackson. Bruce runs the store, and Bruce has put out so many shirts and Guns Save Lives and magnets and all those options that I want you to just, if you would, tell people how much stuff we've gone through and kind of give them a picture of what that's like.
Wow. 4 days in the past couple of weeks, FedEx showed up at my house. The driver looked at the pile on the driveway and said, they didn't tell us how much it was. We'll send a different truck. And they came back and picked it up. Literally, there was several days at my house where I had to walk sideways through all the halls because the 3,000 signs, the 9,000 magnets, and the, what do we get, 21,000 flags that came in. Now, the flags came in 3 or 4 major loads. At one point, I was able to empty my garage and get rid of all the flags. They all shipped out. And 15 minutes later, 2 FedEx 15-passenger vans showed up and filled it back up. We distributed quite a bit. There was 46 stores on the list. It turns out that at least one somehow I missed. I apologize to Clark Brothers. They did not get flags, just magnets. The magnets were a little late. We also were looking at 12-inch stickers. We did get one email from a gentleman that said he didn't understand why we would get such a god-awfully large sticker. I forget his exact words, but he didn't like the fact that it was large. He had said he had nothing he could put it on. And I said, well, you know, you got doors, windows, roofs, cardboard, coroplast. You can put it on pretty much anything. And after this event, we'll still have them. And you can get a good quality logo for any sign you make. If you want to make a VCDL sign, then we have the Ring GSL and the Minuteman logo, just as like what's on the backdrop behind Pat. So we got 10,000 each of those. Now, some of them we were able to get to the stores. We did end up paying a premium for the printer to rush it out. And the printer rushed it out and got it out a day earlier than their rush required date, gave it to the transport, and the freight company sat on it, and I think it was Ohio, for quite a while. And when I got it, I figured out why. It looks like they dropped the pallet. All the boxes were broken open. They were taped shut, kind of, sort of. It was pretty ugly. So we got a refund on all the shipping, but unfortunately the stickers did make it too late to have any major impact. Although I got a few in my room tonight. I did bring some with me. But it has been a whirlwind to try to figure out what materials to get them out to the stores as quickly as possible. Some of my days started at about 2 a.m. and they ended somewhere after like 9 or 10 at night. So it was a lot of wrapping and a lot of shipping, and I think a lot of cursing by the FedEx drivers that showed up to take it away. Also, the mail carrier, I think right now, is not overly joyed to come to my house. Didn't mind most of the packages, but the magnets are kind of heavy. So
They are kind of heavy.
yeah, Pat said send me some magnets, and where I'm at, where I work, the some is a big joke because of what happened to me when I first started this. Do you have time for a quick rabbit trail?
Sure.
Okay. So when I started the fulfillment center, what it was is our statewide coordinator, we lived in a condo north of Fort Belvoir. The poor gentleman had absolutely no room, so he would buy a quantity of materials, divide it up, ship it out. Whatever the gun show coordinators got is what they got, and they had to live with it. And they were complaining because they couldn't get any polos. So I told the board, I said, well, I got a little bit of room, so why don't we go ahead and see what they want? So they gave me a list of how many polos they wanted, from small to 3XL. And I took that number and multiplied it by 9 because there was 9 coordinators, doubled it, got that many black pocketed polos, took that number without doubling it, got that many black polos, gray pocketed polos. When I went to pick them up, it filled the bed of my truck, the back seat of my truck, the passenger seat of my truck. And when I got them home, Uline was waiting to shove a pallet up into my driveway, and then I was off and running. Quantities have expanded dramatically. As a matter of fact, after last year's rush, I swear to God that I was not going. Thank you, Andrea. I swear to God that I was not going to run out of materials. So I did 2 orders. One of them was for 500,000 stickers. The other was for 1 million. So FedEx Freight showed up at the bottom of my driveway with 2 pallets with 40 boxes on it. And my driveway is very steep. So it took me 1 day to haul them into the garage and 1 day to get them in the basement, but we will not run out of stickers. So stickers, we got lots of hats, lots of ball caps, lots of materials. For those of you that pre-ordered the Traveler's Guides, all the Traveler's Guides shipped out earlier. Let's see, today is Sunday, so this is a new week. So earlier last week, they shipped out, so you should have them in just a few days. And I think that about covers it.
So I just want to pop in again and just say thanks to Bruce for that work. And speaking of thanks, and I'm going to have Bruce and Pat help me because I can't remember everybody. I've seen some names scroll through. Like I just saw Carlin scroll through and join. Carlin is the guy that did all of our back-end programming for our GPS trackers. And I'm talking about days of testing and making sure everything works so that you'll be able to track the buses tomorrow. We have Tess and Layla that manage the buses to get the captains and get the buses wrapped and get them to come in where they're coming from and get all that coordinated, where they're going to be. Brandon and Andrea, they've got their own sub-teams of VCDL executive members and core members that do the heavy lifting. So thank you to them. Matt Gottschalk, who's one of our VCDL TV guys that helps put together the speeches and the video, and his partner, Gary, that helps us get all that going together too. So there's so many people. I should have had a list of everybody to thank, but all the members, the executive members, the board, there's just so much work it takes to pull one of these off. So just thank you.
Right.
Thank you again to everybody. Is there anybody that you know of, Pat, that I may have missed?
Paul Conti, who has put together the buses for us 2 years in a row now, done an excellent job, even with midnight phone calls to put out fires. Our bus captains who are keeping things on track for tomorrow. All of the people that have volunteered, ham operators and things like that. People that are handing out supplies at the different pickup points. At a lot of the meetup points along the way, there'll be people that'll have magnets, stickers, flags, things like that.
Well, speaking of that, can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
So those volunteers that are handing out our gear are not collecting money. They're running their own businesses. They volunteered to hand out our gear for us. So when
Right.
you go pick up your flag and your magnet and stuff, keep in mind they're volunteer helping us, and that we would like you to pay for them. So you just go to vcdl.org/donate and donate the money for the gear that you're picking up. So that way.
And just as a side note, I'd like to add, you can donate to the store. If you go to the gear, go to the website and click on gear. You top on the menu is donate or membership, and you can click on donate and basically just increase the quantity for the number of dollars that you want to give. So you can pay for it that way as well. And we have had a few people do that. And that's also how we were selling the 3x5 flags, which after lobby day, I will get off my lazy butt and try to add to the store in my copious spare time.
I saw somebody just asked how you get to the store. Just go to the VCD.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You know, I don't know the whole URL.
Well, you just go to vcdl.org and look for gear in the header and just click on that.
Yep.
And that'll take you to the stores.
All right. So unless I think we'll probably shut down now for right now. And around 9 o'clock, if Philip gets done with his interview,
That's too long. Just tell them to go to gear.
oh yeah, just go to gear. If we will, we'll try and come back around 9, maybe 9:30 when Philip gets done with his press. So if there's any other alert things, we'll come back and see at 9:30. Otherwise, if we don't come back, have a safe trip tomorrow. Follow the vcdl.org webpage, because that we're not going to get shut down, and we'll have any up to the minute changes on our webpage, and we'll try and put it out on our different social media and everything else. So thank you all for your support, and have a safe, fun time tomorrow. You guys want to say goodbye?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Pat. See you in a little bit.
Bye.
Otherwise, we'll see you
safe.
tomorrow.